Hey there everyone, PhilChill here, and today we will be taking a short look of the upcoming game, which is Palia. Palia is an upcoming MMORPG which was announced with a short trailer on June 3rd, 2021. It is being developed by Singularity 6, which is a 50-person studio comprised of former devs from Riot and Blizzard, who are trying to deliver a totally new experience in the MMO landscape. The game looks beautiful, and it looks like a mashup between Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, and the Breath of the Wild. For the gameplay element, Anthony, one of the developers, said that they took inspiration from the Sims series, and as for multiplayer, some inspiration from Minecraft. The graphics of the game are breathtaking, and it reminds you mostly of the Breath of the Wild, as it looks very similar. But what is Palia? What will you be able to do in this world? Well, by quoting the developers, Palia is a community sim massively multiplayer online game set in a high fantasy world with robust online multiplayer and third-person perspective that adds a new layer of depth to the sim genre, giving players a deep community experience in a vibrant living world. And towards the end, they give out a bit more information about the world of Palia, quoting, "Palia is a gorgeous cozy world that's constantly evolving and features deep customization systems, a compelling cast of non-playable characters, and a massive online community of other players to share and explore with. From this, we can gather that the world will change depending on the evolving narrative that the developers will unveil over the years." According to the news article on Massively OP, the game is described as definitely an MMO, but without much with the common combat grinders and murder hobo sims we're used to. The combat in the game is purely optional, and you can apparently play the game as a pacifist run without fighting even once. PvP in the game is basically non-existent, and it all comes down to a friendly competition, as it was stressed by the developers that the game isn't meant to be a pressure-filled environment where players will need to worry about that. It was explained that customization was a massive focus in the game where you can only play as a human. The story behind it is explained that humans were a legendary race that were powerful in magic and they disappeared in the past, so we will be slowly uncovering humanity's past. The customization will be massive, both on your character and house or housing plot as well. At release, it was noted that there will be over 1000 home decor items and that you would be able to invite players to come visit you and help you with decorating everything. You will also be able to romance some of the NPCs in the game, which will have their own characters and storylines to explore. Palia will also feature guilds, which will be in the forms of neighborhoods. So far, we don't have any extra information if we'll be able to have guild halls where players will be able to gather, decorate, and make it feel like a real-life community. There will be a lot of activities players can do in the game, like exploration, fishing, cooking, farming, climbing, and hunting, and each of these can be done solo or by grouped players. This is something unique, as you will be able to complete an activity with another player. For example, one player starts the activity while the other player finishes it, and this will allow both players to receive the finished item. For the more adventurous players, there is a combat system in place, while for those that don't wish to engage in combat can progress in the game in other ways. Also, as the developer stated that dungeons are planned for the game, but it seems it would be a future feature which will be added as the world expands. As we can see on their website, the game is nearing its completion, which is something that's really rare these days, and the pre-alpha will be available soon and you can sign up for it on their website. I will leave a link in the description below, so feel free to check it out, as the pre-alpha will be coming out this summer of 2021. The game was a surprising announcement by Singularity 6, as it offers a really innovative and new thing on the market in the MMO landscape. From the trailer, we can see some really beautiful character designs as well as the overall look of the world. We just don't know if the game will look as in the trailer or there will be bigger differences at hand. But at one point, we can also see multiple characters doing different activities, which shows you how some of the activities are done in the world of Palia. But since it's a trailer, it doesn't mean that the end content will be the same. As I am a player that really enjoys crafting and the economy of every game, I can't wait to see what Palia will have to offer on this aspect. They mentioned that there is a crafting window which looks similar to one of the Guild Wars 2, but I'll have to wait and see for this myself. In terms of monetization in the game, we don't have any information, and most of the speculation is that it would be free to play with a cash shop mechanic offering a lot of special character customizations, but for this we'll need to wait and see for the developer's official announcement about the monetization system. The player house will probably be instant since it was mentioned that you can invite players to visit your house, and that is something that I'm okay with. We just don't know if your house will be visible to other players even if you don't invite them to your house or if you're offline. This is something that we'll have to wait and see for the end result. As the game will feature high customization options for your character and house or house plot, it opens the question about some of the monetization aspects, mostly about the cash shop in the game. I am okay with having that if it means that it will support the game in any way, but I just hope that the focus won't be entirely upon this mechanic. And also, will we have a way of getting any of those items with an in-game method, that it will allow some players to acquire those items in-game? I'm just hoping that we'll focus on the right mechanics and they will create an enticing new world for players to explore. For now, I will be keeping an eye on this game and will follow all of the updates closely, and I can't wait to see some of the future updates that they will bring as well. All in all, everything that I saw about the game that the developers announced makes me feel hopeful for the whole MMO landscape. I got really interested and I can't wait to see the whole game on release because this one offers a really unique look into the MMO genre, and I think it will bring a fresh new breath of life in the already stagnant MMO landscape. The game feels quite unique, and it's a combination of many other great games, bringing the best of them into one whole game. The game is already funded and playable, which is pretty rare in these days, which makes me even more hopeful that it would turn out really great. Rarely we can find games like this that can introduce a relatively new experience on the market, and I am genuinely excited for this. Well then everyone, thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a like and comment if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out any of my future content, as this helps me out immensely and I really appreciate your support. I hope you have a great day and I will see you all in my next one. But till then, stay safe.